YouTube channel. I tried content creation on Instagram. I tried planning out all my ideas. I would sit here and have a whole schedule for editing, and actually creating the content, taking the pictures, and videography, all of it. I tried it, and it was just not for me. It was overwhelming. It became this ingenuine form of consistency. It was just for consistency. It was just to literally get traction on Instagram and to get to my audience. But the ingenuineness of that content, it made me angry at myself, because I would sit here and force these posts. I would force this content, and it just didn't make sense to me. It took me away from who I really was and what I wanted as a content creator. And you don't have to give in to what other people want. It should be whatever you want for yourself and your creations and your content. The outcome that you want is not always the outcome that other people want for you. So for content creation, if you want to be very creative and spontaneous and be something new for someone to look at and something of value, then you need to take genuine videos, and it should be more spontaneous. It should be more free and flowed through however you're feeling, because that's the most relatable content there is. Just me taking this video and talking, and with all this commotion going on, it's creating realism just for the video, for the audience, for the people hearing it. It's resonating with you a lot more than if I were to cut it out, or if I were to just edit every segment into words that I want you to value. I want you to value every single word I say, because every single word I say is something that I say genuinely. And I'm not going to skip over that. I'm not going to brush it off, because real creativity comes from the animosity you feel when trying to be creative. So whenever you have a writer's block, whenever you have a creative block, just understand the block itself is the birth of the next creation. It is the animosity that builds that inspiration for you. The animosity you feel before you create is all the drive you need to create the best thing you can create. And what I mean by this is, whenever you feel stumped on a content idea, or whenever you feel just creative block in general, acknowledge it. How about you make that into your content? Create something about you having writer's block, you having creator's block. Like me with these videos, I'm going with the flow with all these videos. I'm not trying. I'm not planning it out. I might have some thoughts and ideas that I might think of, and I'll run back to them and talk about the topic, but I'm not going off of no script. I'm not going off of anything written down. This is all off the top of my head, and I feel like that is what we're missing. We're missing real, genuine, real time. We're missing real time content. A lot of content is filmed like years ago, or months ago, days ago, weeks ago. Things that you see are filmed not that day. They're not filmed that day. They're not created that day. And I'm not saying that it's not good content. It's just not resonated. It's not resonated to everybody. It's not as real as you'd want it to be. And I say this only because I'm a very genuine person. There's people out there that do create really good content, and it's not all filmed the same day. It's edited. It's really thought out. And if you're able to do that, that's fucking amazing. That's great. But we're not all built like that. I go with the flow with my life, so how can I not go with the flow with my creativity? It just goes hand in hand. And in order for me to really tap into my creative headspace, I film whenever I want to film. I film when I'm inspired. I film when I have something to fucking say. I don't just write something down and then go back to it later and start. No, when I think of something, it might not be the best time to do it, but I'm gonna do it as soon as I can. When I think of something that I can talk about, when I think of something that people can really resonate with, like a value, and I can put it into a video and people can really look at it and see it and feel it and resonate and just relate, I do that whenever, okay? I don't do that shit only Mondays, Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, or I do it certain days of the week. No, I do that shit whenever I can, whenever I think of it, and every single day, quite honestly, because daily creation creates more spontaneous creation. So being consistent is great, yes, but being consistent with with some value is better. So if you're bringing value just by being consistent, that's going to bring you closer to your creative goals than if you were to just force it regardless of what the creation is. Like if you're feeling stumped about your creativity, just say that. Make that your consistency, make that your post, make that the journey to the next creation, because being creative is very hard nowadays. It's very, very hard, and you think it's easy because there's so much of it out there. No. There's so much of it out there because we're all trying to fake it. We're all trying to force it. That's why there's so much content out there. And in order to be different, in order to be new, in order to be fresh and actually like resonate with someone, you have to acknowledge the fact that you're even creating in the first place. You need to acknowledge the fact that you might have creator's block. You need to acknowledge that your audience is not going to resonate with the content like you do. So being genuine, making genuine videos, I feel like it's the next wave. It is the next wave to create content creation, because people want to know that it's not as easy as it seems. It's not just about consistency. It's about creating actual value for the internet, for people who really want to know what you're about. Create more value. Don't just post something just to post. If you're going to post just to post, tell them you're posting just to post. Simple. It's simple, because you make yourself humanize to them. You're humanizing yourself. You're making yourself human. You're not just a person on a screen. You're not just a robot. You're not just a content creator on the phone. You're a human. So you need to start humanizing yourself and stop acting like you're perfect and that all your content is perfect. And that's really the gist of what I'm trying to say here, is that being consistent is great, but you're not going to be perfect with every single consistent video or post you have. You're not. We're not robots. We're not fucking AIs. We're not automated intelligence or artificial intelligence. We're not. Okay, we're human. And we need to start humanizing ourselves through our content. It doesn't have to be through genuine, unedited videos like me, but it can just be through the thought of acknowledging that you might have a creator's block that day, or just acknowledging, you know, like, this is not my best post, this is not the post, and I'm posting this for consistency, so that your audience can understand that about you, instead of them judging you off of you just posting consistently and like, oh wow, this content is not even all that, and they stop following you. So being genuine is the new wave. Genuine videos are the new wave, and being on YouTube has really opened my eyes to what people really want to see and what they really want to listen to, what they value. And they value someone humanizing themselves. And I'm humanizing myself to the point where I'm giving all my vulnerability to the world right now. And I don't even care. Why? Because I'm just a speck. I'm a speck in the universe. And nobody cares about my problems the way I do. So why not just put it out there and let people know I'm human too? Hey, guess what, guys? We're all human. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes. And we just need to learn from them and just keep going from there, because consistency is everything. Not just with content creation, but with yourself. Be consistent with yourself and your feelings and acknowledge them, because that's just the new wave of being a content creator. You know?